polarization is the real gorilla in the room of American politics today. These lines depict polarization within the House of Representatives and the United States Senate. So if you look on the x-axis, the far left-hand side is 1870, the far right-hand side is the current day. The higher those lines are, the more divided members of Congress are. So these are based on what we call ideal point estimates. They are a way to measure how divisive one party is from the other party. The maximum score on this is 1. We see the top of that y-axis is 1.0. It is almost mathematically impossible for Congress to be more divided than it is today. We haven't seen this levels of division in the House of Representatives and increasingly the Senate since the Civil War. So these sort of divisions matter. They lead to consequences. The Civil War was obviously a consequence of major party divisions. In a sort of less hyperbolic sense in our current day, we see gridlock, we see inability to get things done, we see demonization of the other side, inability for the left to work with the right. So an argument I'm going to make to you right now is that polarization, this divisiveness that has swept our society as a whole, has changed the relationship between religion and politics. So we normally thought of religion and politics as sort of a one-way thing. People went to churches, they got pieces of information, that changed their political attitudes. The story today, and I'm going to show you some data that supports this argument, is actually the other way around, is that people have political preferences, they watch political television shows, they talk about politics with their friends and family, and then they carry that into a congregation. If the congregation does not align with those political preferences, they tend to leave, or they tend to go more often. And so the arrow, the causal direction between religion and politics, is in a state of flux.